Hey guys, I just picked up this Keter storage cabinet. Want to use it down in the basement to store some stuff. So I thought let's do a video putting it together and see what it looks like once we have it all built. Now this box is over 40 pounds. So instead of trying to lug this big 40-pound box down the basement stairs, which sounds like it would end badly, I'm going to open it up and take the individual pieces down. Then we're going to start building this thing. Here's what we get when we first open up the box and start getting these pieces down the stairs. Got all but one or two pieces down here all sitting on the table. For a second I was getting worried that there weren't any instructions in the box, but they're tucked in between a couple of these panels right there, so don't worry, they're there somewhere. We're going to start, as you always should, with part one. Now the front page here shows all the pieces and they all have letters by them and numbers to tell you the quantity. Now if we look at the first page, step one is A, and we're putting these little things on there, and then down here it says repeat twice for top and bottom. So as I was looking for this piece, I was pulling stuff out, and this piece was between the others, and hopefully that's not like a piece you gotta use, because that looks broken. That looks broken. So not a good start, but we're still looking for this part A. As we dig more, I got two that look the same. Maybe that's not broke. Maybe that's how it's supposed to look. Anyways, we got two of those things. Maybe they were just spacers or something. We got to be optimistic about things. So the pieces are all labeled. So here you can see the A and the A, and that's what we're doing now. We have these squares that come in the bag there. Notice that there's small squares and there's big squares. And we look at the picture, we got big squares on the side where the hole is right here. And then we got the small ones on that side there. So I already put one big one in this corner and it just slides right in. This one should get a smallie, and it looks like it goes in just like so. Working on the second A, got a longie, bam, longie in. All four sides are done. On both of the A's, we are on to step two, which is putting these round circles in the top, and apparently there's a Keter logo in there. I'm guessing that's where the logo's supposed to go. I don't know, both of mine are blank, but since these pieces are the same, I'm going to put the round things just in one of them. They're in the bag. They're these guys right here. Have to do that with each corner. You saw how hard I had to push that last one to get it in? Look at this one. It just falls. Oh boy. You know that saying about first impressions? Yeah. Next step is to put these little guys in the corner. They're in a separate bag, but they're all stacked together like that. And they just push on like we got that guy each of the four corners. After getting those four on, it says to flip the thing over. That's A. Next thing we're doing is grabbing B, which is the black piece, and it's labeled B. It says this side out there, so pay attention to that. And we got A on the floor flipped over. We're supposed to push this in. It's on the side with two guys like that, and this is going to push until we hear a click. That might count as a click. Nothing looks broke. Click! Next is to put the S panels on alongside what we just did there. So there's two of those. Looks like this. It's labeled S. It says to push until you hear a click, and hopefully it's only a click and not a snap. Bam! I heard a click. Now if you look, the right way to do it, it's a rectangle back here and the front's a square. So that's how you know where each one goes. S piece number 2. I didn't hear the click, but should we stand on it? I think it's good. I'll click for it. Click! Next, we're installing piece K across the top of the back. and it's another black piece that looks like this. And it looks like I'll have to probably have two hands to line it up, but it's going to go somewhere in this general area. See how it splits the difference kind of going into both of these? And we just got to push down until it clicks. They're big fans of the clicks, even though I don't always hear them. Next step, we're getting HS, which is that white piece there. And we're going to attach MC. It says it clicks into place, and GR looks like that. You notice MC's got that little tab right there, which is this tab here. And it's got these little guys that lock into place, and they go into these holes here when we push it down, hopefully. There we go. Got the lock that time. Yeah. Well, we got one to click. Next, we're putting on GR, the flip side of that white piece, and it was in the bag here with all that, and it looks like it just kind of pushes into place just like so. Kind of like so. We got some more interesting things. So this is called HS, and GR goes on the bottom. This is called HS, and GL goes on the bottom. So I'm grabbing GR first, right? This one says GR right here. It's got the little tab right there, which line up with those holes there. This side does not fit. I've pushed, well, hard enough that I broke the bottom down there. So this doesn't fit, right? But these are both labeled HS. So why it doesn't fit, I don't know. Now here we have a GL. Again, line up the tabs, and this one just falls into place. I don't know. So on step 8, we're putting the door on there, and we got to put this L10 cross member on there. So, see that peg? There's a hole in the bottom here, and it's going to pivot on that peg. So we're just going to kind of put it in place there. And then we got to find that cross member piece, that, what was it, L10? And stick that on there. This looks like it won't stay until I get that piece. Here's L10, the one that looks like a mouse has been chewing on it or something. And it's going to go there with this guy here. Here's that L10 piece slid on top, so it slides into the back, slides into the front, and make sure this little roller post goes into the corner right here when you push it on. And of course we're back to the HS panel with the MC on top and GL on the bottom. That's all good to go. We got that piece clipped in there. We got this guy in here. Again, it's going to be the other side here, and we need that L10 cross piece to go on top that'll hold the door in place. And it looks like that's the other piece that got chewed on. I guarantee you it's easier to do with two hands. But if I can do it one-handed, you can do it by yourself, I'm sure. Yeah, make sure this little guy goes in the hole, just like the movie. Are you ashamed of your home? Why don't you go home? Answer me. And with that, we have the bottom section ready to go. Let's see what our next step is. Moving on to the second level, we have another B panel. That's going to be one of the black panels, and it's going to click on top. Looks essentially like it did a few steps ago, putting on the first black panel. There we are with the second one. Almost ran out of clearance up there. Now, we've done this before. We're adding the S's to either side. I found the S, and look, there's a logo. I bet that's the one that's not supposed to be in this channel right here. Hang on, I gotta fix things. I gotta fix it. Look at this. Look at me go. There we go. It's crooked, but it wasn't on before at all, so it's still an improvement. One more S on. One S to go. Slid that guy on. At this point, we're all out of S's. For the next step, we got to put the GL on the HS. So again, that's one of these guys here that says GR, so we need a different one. There we go, that's a GL. The HS you remember from last time, we're going to slap this guy on there. Got the GL and our HS. And now for step 14, we just got to put it in place on the cabinet. Finished off that door by putting that in place. So the next one's going to go in the same spot. You got these pegs. Make sure you're going in that little pivot point. And we put that gray piece in there. And that's the HS. So that's this step here. The GR and the HS sliding on the second door. Got both doors on. Now we need to put A back on the very top. And that was what we played with at the very beginning. Remember that piece had our caps, and it's got these pegs here. I'm guessing that's a pivot for our doors. So let's throw this on top. Got these guys on the back started a little bit. Swing around to the other side and get these going. Top is on, all pushed into place. See what they want next. Next we got to put our handles on. They're in a separate bag. And you got a main rod and you got two end caps. You got more of the click stuff. And they get screwed in with Phillips screws. Now these are very hard to put on. I had to hammer fist both of those on. Now they go into the doors, which have like little dimples. They couldn't be bothered to actually drill holes. The good thing is the plastic is thin enough that we can see right through it so we can line up our stuff. And we're putting our screws in ourselves. First handle is on. Got the screws all in place. One down, one to go. See, that cap's got to go all the way in until it locks into place. And I don't know how I can show you this, but it's not a simple task to do. Not a simple task. Easier that way. Both handles are on. Looks all pretty like. Next up, we're putting in the shelves. They're number F. You get 4 of them. I put one in already. So this is the back bracket. I'll show you how that goes in a second. And it looks like where you don't use the bracket, you can use these as like plugs, essentially. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So I put the shelf in right there. This right here is that. And it goes in, you push the top in, and then swing it down so it goes into the bottom holes. And then this is going into the shelf right there. And then on the sides, you're going into these little plastic clips, or whatever you want to call them, that are there. So you do have some amount of adjustment here. You're going to get 4 shelves spaced out however you want. And I'm going to put my next 3 in. As you're spacing them out, you might want to pay attention to how big the gap is between this one and that one. Look how big that gap right there is. But look, if you were to put the shelf here, I mean, I can't even fit my hand between where the shelf would be sitting. Remember, it would sit up here. So that would be like very, very narrow. Very, very, very narrow. I feel like this is too big of a gap, but those are your options. There we go. We end up with a skinny guy on top. Kind of a reasonable spot there. A monster gap in the middle. And then some more, I would say, more reasonable spacing down at the bottom. Now they also give you these little plasticky guys that are supposed to go in all of these little holes that are around there. And there's quite a few of them. Got most of my little cappies on. You can see. Nice, the interior ones match the plastic. Couldn't be bothered to do that there. Now here you'll notice, maybe cappies aren't supposed to go on that because that's got like some kind of ridge that's not going to hold the cap. Same thing with this one here. The instructions show caps there, but they're not going to fit. Here's our completed cabinet. Looks pretty good. And adding the shelves sturdied up the whole thing quite a bit. The doors open nice and easily. I'll give you guys a couple of dimensions. Since this is such a big space, it'll be easy to get a measurement on it. So front to back, probably 14 inches of usable space there. And then making sure we can get through our opening. And our opening here is 22 inches. I'll try and give you the overall dimensions in case you're trying to see if it'll fit somewhere. Maybe if I can do this one-handed. So left to right here, you're going to need 26 inches to get it to fit somewhere. Front to back, you're at 18 or 20 if you're counting the handles. And it's 72.5 inches tall. There it is, all assembled, some dimensions for you. I think it'll be fine. It looks decent. I think the plastic's a little on the flimsy, not great side. And the assembly was a little bit annoying because, well, you saw. But there it is. Thanks for watching.